Uh,
How did you get to know that you have to use router here?
no.
Okay, you
Uh,
did some research in internet and you have added, that's it, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. You can stop sharing your screen. Uh, uh, Sushmita?
So,
Yeah. Can you share your screen and show me what you have done?
so
Just a second, I'll give you the permissions. Yeah. Okay. Can you explain what you have done here?
we are reading the CSV file from the file reader,
Okay.
and we are passing this CSV file, which is in a binary format, to the document.
Mm-hmm.
And the target was the file, right? Which was in a binary format.
Right.
So we are pushing this binary. We have this CSV parser was in a binary format, so we need to changing this binary to the documented
Correct.
formatting.
Mm-hmm.
This is in a binary format, so we were copying
Mm-hmm.
this to the and our target was to uh, send the push this data to the two files. So we are pushing this data by using this binary copy.
Okay. So how did you, I mean, how were you able to say that we have to use binary copy?
Well, we have this data in a binary format.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you are able to identify it based on the shape, or, if it is a binary, then we have to use binary or something. You have
Yeah.
identified like that. Okay.
Yeah.
This is fine. This looks fine. Uh, and do you find any other way to do it? I mean, instead of using binary copy, I said you can do it multiple ways. So did you find any other way to do it? This is fine. This is correct. I'm not saying this is not correct, but did you find any other way to do it?
Well, I have used another option also, like we can just copy this document. Mm,
Okay. Okay, you mean we can use documented copy. I mean, instead of binary copy, we can use documented copy. That's what
Yeah,
you.
yes,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, you can stop sharing. That is fine.
yes.
Then can you show me
Yeah,
what you have
okay.
done? Just a second. Yeah, please. You can share your screen and show me what you have done.
Yeah, it's visible now.
Yep, I can see.
Just 1 second. So, I'm audible. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I done the same pipeline like
Mm-hmm.
uh, I mean, file reader is here and we converting it and validate the same thing
Mhm.
parsing and format and write, like from the source and to the end. But
Okay.
this thing almost like clear, but I have doubts in two different file.
Mhm.
So can I ask you?
I can take your questions once this, I
Okay,
will ask few people around. I will
okay.
take your questions, but uh, have you completed yours or is it still in
No,
progress?
this file is I have completed, and another two files
This fine.
there I have doubt.
This we have already discussed in the session itself.
Right.
So, writing it to another file, you said you have doubts.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it's still in progress. I mean, then.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I mean there is
Yeah.
another two files, so I got an error in that file. So
Okay.
that's I
Okay.
have
No
doubt.
worries. No worries. We will. I will take your questions later on. Okay.
Okay.
You can stop sharing for now.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Ashwini, can you?
Uh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Give me the access.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. I have. So yeah. Let me know it is yeah visible or not.
Yeah, yeah. We can see. We can see.
Okay. At the first scenario, you have to say that we have to import a file and convert and into the yeah to yeah destination, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at that scenario, we have import the file reader here,
Mm-hmm.
and I use the is sample CSV file. It's a random file. I'm yeah downloading with the internet,
That's fine.
and upload this file. And after you said that, I'm just it's a file is having a a binary number. If I have to save this file and run it,
No worries. I mean, just
okay.
let me know what
So
you have done. You don't
okay,
need to.
and after yeah that I use CSV parser, and after
Mhm.
that yeah there the snap of the copy,
Okay.
and after that I've used the CSV formatter to
Mm-hmm.
convert into the yeah document to binary, and
Mm-hmm.
I use the writer file writer. So it is
Okay.
the first task who I have converted, and the second way I have to convert it like this. To I import the source file here, and I doesn't convert into the CSV formatter or CSV yeah parser. I converted into the yeah binary copyright itself here. Yeah.
Okay.
So I used yeah this, and then the two different file I have to yeah yeah downloaded the file number 4, sample file writer 4, and sample file writer 3 here. So it is
So
all yeah
yeah, the only
it is
problem
all
that I
worked.
see here is
And one of the you give me the extra task to customize the header.
this one we will take a look later.
Okay.
Just let me know the task that you have done.
Yeah.
This is fine. This is also fine, but in the target, try to give the extension also. So if you do open the target,
Yeah.
you
Hello.
have not provided .csv or .txt something, right?
Hello. Actually,
You,
I lost your voice. So what you said the targeted next?
can you open the target one?
Okay.
Yeah. Can you see you have not provided any extension to this? I mean, sample CSV file writer dot
Okay. Hmm.
one dot CSV.
Okay.
Without the extension, the file will not be in the format that is expected. Okay. If you are writing it into a CSV file, it should be .csv.
Hmm.
If you are
Hmm.
writing it to a text file, it should be .txt likewise. Okay.
Hmm. So
Okay.
at that says we have already converted to my file into the CSV formatter. So at that,
Even you convert it, you
uh,
have to give the extension. So that's the standard.
okay,
Okay.
okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Please. Manohari, can you show me your screen and let me know what you have done?
Yes, sir. Give me the
Just a
access
second.
to show.
Just a second. Yeah, please. You can share your screen now.
Is it visible, sir?
Yes, yes, it is.
So I have created like this.
Okay.
As the first snap is read file, which
Mm-hmm.
generally reads the data,
Mm-hmm.
and then pass file
Okay.
to convert from binary to document.
Correct.
And then here I have used a copy, sir,
Mm-hmm.
for different format for the different sources.
Okay.
Here itself I have used the copy, since
Mm.
binary copy transfers the data from uh, document to binary, and
Yeah, please go
copy
ahead. Mm-hmm.
copy will transfer here from the pass file to format file.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have used the format filer,
Okay.
format snap, and
Mm-hmm.
then two sources, write file and write file one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, that this is fine, Manohar. So it looks fine. You can
Thank
stop
you, sir.
sharing. Yep. So team, basically there are multiple ways that we can do. The one that I have given you as a task, there are multiple ways. One such way is the one that is showed by Sushmita, where we can use the binary copy at last after the formatting, right? So in that case, if you can see, the number of snap has been reduced, correct? The normal way that you guys are doing, most of the people I have seen, you are doing is after the CSV parser, you are using copy snap, correct? And after that, two CSV formatters and then file writers, right? So in that way, how many snaps you are using in a pipeline? In that case, how many you are using? Two for read and read, because file read and CSV parser two, and then copy three, two more formatters five, and two file writers. Total seven snaps, correct? And if we take the example of Sushmita's that she has done, it has only six snaps, right? She was able to reduce uh, one more snap because by using the binary copy. I'm not saying that the way that you have done is not correct, but try and think to optimize the solution. Let's say you have came up with a solution and try to think to reduce the number of snaps in a pipeline. Ashwini, I will come to your solution of the second solution that you have told me. There is something that I have to explain there where you have used only three snaps. That is also fine, but there is something that I need to explain. Okay, on that I will come to
Okay.
you. But the task that has been given, most of the people has done it correct. But just keep it in mind. Whenever I gave you a task, you come up with a solution, and once you implement that solution, try and think or go through the snaps and see if you can optimize anything. Optimize in the sense, if you can reduce any snap. Okay, if I'm using a duplicate snaps or a snap multiple times, so the way you have to think is, if you can reduce the snaps that you are using in a pipeline, will be helpful at the end of the development where the actual testing is happening. If you have less number of snaps, the execution will also go faster. Okay, and the standard number of snaps or the standard given by Snaplogic per pipeline, maximum of 50 snaps can be used. Okay, a maximum of 50 snaps can be used. That is the standard given by the Snaplogic to us. So keeping that in mind, we cannot go and have every snap added to the pipeline. Instead, once you have your logic implemented, then try to optimize your solution in such a way that you can reduce the pipelines. Sorry, snaps in a pipeline. Make sense? And the people who have not done anything, I would suggest that please go through the yesterday's session or the task that I have given you. Please go through that, use your trial accounts and build a pipeline. I'm asking you to build a pipeline because you will get a lot of questions in the process and you will be able to think of different solutions, right? Like most of the people did in our session. I will ask you tomorrow again for the task that I have given yesterday. so that I will get to know myself that people are able to get the session that we are going through daily. Okay, make sense? And then I will take your questions in last 15 minutes. Okay. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the pipeline that we have discussed as a use case one yesterday. So I have given you a task to implement to the output as two files, right? Just a second. Okay. This will be the most optimized solution that we are gonna think, right? This is the optimized solution as per, right, as per the task that I have given you. So there is another way also. So what we are doing here, we are trying to parse the CSV contents and then format the CSV contents and then finally push the binary data into the files, right? So what if we can reduce this number of snaps using here from 6 to anything less than 6, right? I just want to do, what is the use case of mine? I just want to copy the contents of one file to another file with a different file name, right? That is the actual use case in the yesterday session that we have discussed. The task that I have given you is to have a different copy of a pipeline a file, in the sense different files with the two different file names, right? But now what if we can reduce the number of snaps here? So I told you in the yesterday session that anything with the same shape can be connected, right? If this is a circle, I'm in the documented format, this can be connected to any documented input snap, right? And if I say this is a diamond shape, this can be connected to any diamond input snap or output snap, correct? So in this case, what if I can remove all these? In the yesterday's use case I told you, I will connect like this. Is it correct or not? What is my use case? My use case is to copy the contents of one file to another file, right? So my use case here is I'm not changing the data or I'm not changing the format of the data, correct? What I'm trying to do is push the contents of one file to another file directly. Don't do any sort of transactions. I mean, any modifications or updates or deletions, anything. Just bulk copy. We say it bulk copy. In the sense, just copy whatever we have in one file to another file. Can we do it like this? So how many number of snaps that we were able to reduce? 1, 2, and yeah, 2 more snap we are able to reduce, right? Generally, it used to be 4 snaps basically for one file copy. Now we were able to reduce it to 2 snaps. Are you able to get it? We are able to do it because the shape accepts it, okay? And we will be able to write the file to the destination without any problem, okay? Let me go ahead and run it. Let me show you in the live itself directly. There is no file now. This is the source file, okay? What I will do is I will go ahead and run this file. pipeline. Okay, it has completed the execution. See, it has written the file, right? It has written the file. So now my question is, what is the difference from this to this? If I'm able to achieve my solution using this, only 2 snaps, why did I tell you to parse it and then format it and then write it to the external file? What is the use case? Can someone let me know? Maybe Ashwini, can you let me know? Because you have done this already. Can you please let me know how we were able to do it using 2 snaps itself? What is the purpose? Like, why should we use 4 snaps instead of 2 snaps? Why did we do it yesterday's session?
Okay, so at that scenario, if we used first yeah, two snap read and write only, so at that case we have not able to see our yeah data. So at that case, it's come into a binary form and then save into a binary form. So when we use the CSV yeah parser, so we can convert a binary to document, so we can see or we able to customize our output also, at we can understand the what the exact yeah data is. So at that case,
Okay, okay, no worries. I will let you know what's the reason. So basically, so I told you multiple things yesterday. Once you read the file, I said we will be able to format the contents by adding code characters, changing delimiters, and everything, right? So if you use only 2 snaps, can you do that formatting? First question, can you do the formatting? So I have
no,
a file without double quotes, right? But I want to have a file with double quotes. But did I get that file with double quotes?
no,
So were we able to do it? No.
in the format.
Because what's the reason? We did not change the format, or we did not use the specific snaps to change the format. So if I want to change the format, I can use this only one snap, right? I have to use only this snap if I want to change the format. But will it get connected to this? No.
No.
There comes the CSV parser. So CSV parser, what it will do is it will just convert the contents from binary to document, and then it will give the data to the formatter, wherein the formatter can convert the contents of a CSV file in the manner that we want, like maybe change the delimiter, add the code characters, maybe remove the CSV header, something like that. So that's why we call it as formatter. Formatter in the sense formats the data in the way we want to do it. Make sense? So what is the purpose of these 2 snaps that we have added in the yesterday session? We could have done it directly with only 2 snaps. But if your use case is only transfer the data without changing anything, this is fine. Like doing this is fine. But in your use case, you want to change the format of a file, or add a delimiter or something, change of delimiter from comma to pipe or something else, you have to use the formatting or format related snaps. So to format, the data should be parsed. In the sense, it should be converted from binary to document. Make sense? This is the major difference. So in the use case, or in the example that I have given you, right, what we can do is in the task, in the session that I have given you yesterday, we can do something like this directly. We don't require these two until and unless you don't have to do any formattings. If we have to do any formattings for that, then we definitely require this parsing and formatting. Make sense? Any questions on this? How we were able to optimize this from 4 snaps to only 2 snaps, or 6 snaps to 4 snaps? So the one thing as a developer you have to remember or keep it in mind is, you have to or think about a solutions where you can reduce the usage of number of snaps. That's your main purpose. But before that, you have to think of a solution. So it's okay to build or use any number of snaps. Once you are done with whole logical building of the snaps, you will be going through each and every snap, and you will think through a solution that, okay, do I require this snap or not? If not, delete it and maybe use some other snap wherein it can optimize the solution for us. Okay, it's your primary responsibility as a developer to think through and reduce the number of snaps within a pipeline, because the suggestion from Snaplogic is we cannot exceed the number of snaps greater than 50. It's a suggestion. It's not that we cannot put more than 50 snaps in a pipeline. We can use 15 snaps, but the pipeline will run very slow and you cannot load the pipeline also. Let's say if I want to open the file, pipeline, you will not be able to open it also sometimes, but sometimes it will take more time to open because it will consume lot of memory on the CPU. If a pipeline has more than 50 snaps, it will consume lot of CPU and memory on that snaplex. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions we have on this? Any further questions we have?
Yeah. Hi, Manoj. We can use router snap instead of binary copy.
What is the purpose of router in your understanding? Basically, in general terms, what does the router do?
Routers route.
Yeah. So let me give you an example. So did you hear about if else in your normal coding language? Do you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
what is if else? So router will be useful in a case where you have to do some validations on the data level.
Okay.
Okay, it just needs to be used to validate. If the employee is not there, go this way or that way. Okay, we will see that use case today in today's session. I will let you know. I will tell you the difference between router and filter in this in today's session.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. So my another use case today for this session is, okay, I have a data like this. So let me go and open the data. So I have a data like this. Okay. Can everyone hear me clear?
Yes.
Or did someone have any questions? Okay. Anyway, so I have a data like this. Okay. I want to apply. I feel that employee ID, employee first name, and employee last name are the mandate, and email and phone number, let's say. Okay. Out of these 10 fields or 7 fields I have, I feel that few of these columns are mandatory. Okay. The data in the file should not be empty. Okay. So my use case here is validate or remove the data. Okay. Remove the data from source if the mandatory fields are empty. So use case number 2, remove or delete, okay, or don't insert the data which have the mandatory fields as empty. For example, let's take employee ID, first name and last name are the mandatory fields. Okay, maybe for now let's go only with the employee ID. Make sense? So my use case for today's session is don't insert, or the final file should not have a record having employee ID as null. As this is a mandatory field, the data should be there every time. Make sense? This is our today's use case. For that, I will go and create a pipeline. So I will use the sample POC project, route data on mandatory fields. Okay, this is my pipeline. I will use the same file as I did it for the yesterday session. So I will just go and upload my file here. As I have already my file here, I will use the same file. I don't need to re-upload, because once the file is available, you don't need to re-upload. And then CSV parser. Okay. So now I am able to see my data. And now I feel that my use case is that the employee ID or the field, this is the mandatory field for our use case. This should not be empty for any record. Okay. In that case, so for our use case, what we have to use, there are two options for us. One, we can use a filter, this filter snap, where we can filter out the records which have only data having the values here. We can use the filter snap using some condition, using some JavaScript condition. We can just bypass that record or delete that record from the execution flow. Okay, and then insert the records only having the employee ID as not null. This is one option. I can use filter. If you can go and see the info of this snap, filters the document stream by a given expression. The expression should be in JavaScript. Okay, I will let you know how we can do it. The other thing that we can do is router. Use router. It works same or 90% same as the filter, but filter will not give you the record in the output if the output field or the data which is null in the output view. But in router, those fields will be routed, or the mandatory field check passed values will go to the one output, and the other values will go to the other output. Okay, let me show you an example. So I feel that for now, let me go and use the filter snap for the first example. What I will do is, so this is how the filter snap looks. As I said, account tab will be available only for read and write type of snaps. As this is filter and this is from transform, and it will not have any account tab. The only tabs that are here is info, views, and settings. Views and info, you already know what we need to do. In settings here, there are only two things or three things that we need to worry about. One is the filter expression. This is the mandatory field where we need to put some expression to this, and the null safe access. If we keep this, enable this, it will just ignore the data that is coming from upstream which have null values. And the snap execution, you already know there are three options. Disable will disable the snap. Execute only will give you the result only in execution mode. If we put it to a validate and execute, it will give you the results even in the validation mode. Okay, these are the three things that we need to worry about. So now my mandatory condition here is the employee ID field should not be empty. Correct? So what I will do is, in this filter expression, if you can see, there is this little drop down. I will go and click on this. Don't worry about the other things here. We will speak about it later on. You will see this open checkbox or open box here. If you click on this, it will open a dialog box like this. A box like this where you can build your expression. If you can see, this space is expression. Okay, what is my field here? If you can see from the input, these are the values that I am getting. These are the different columns that I am getting. Don't worry about the functions and properties. I will let you know. If you can see the input schema, these are the values that I am getting from the input, right? These are the file columns. It was able to identify the file columns because input, it is giving me these columns. These columns were able to, or this snap is able to see those columns, these columns. Now what is my mandatory column here? Employee ID. If I go and click on this, it will give my employee ID here. See, you can see the values also. Don't worry about the sub expressions. There is no big logic behind it, but only see the value. See, these are the values that I see, and these are in double quotes because from file they are coming as string. If it is string, the values will be in double quotes. If it is a number, the values will be without a double quotes. It is coming as string. It's because that the values are coming from source as string. Okay, now my validation check, if I have to apply any validation, as I see the value is in string, and also here also it is showing me that the values in this column is string. What I have to do is I have to go through these functions and properties and look for strings. This is an array. We cannot use this. This is base 64. This we cannot use. This is date. This is zip. Digest, HTML we cannot use. Not use, cannot use. We cannot use, and we cannot use. But now you can see that this is the expressions. These are the different methods or expressions we can use. So as the name suggests here, these are different functions and properties directly given by Snaplogic to apply some validation rules. Okay, to apply the validation rules, Snaplogic has given us these functions and properties. These functions and properties, this minus and plus, if you click on this, you will see different functions. This will be only seen in only few snaps. Not everyone will have this. Okay, so as I said, this is a string field. How am I able to identify that? By seeing the value here, or the column next to it says that this is a string, and the data also suggests me because the data is in double quotes here. Right now, what I have to do is, I said the employee ID should not be empty. Right, so what I have to use for that? I have to use the string functions. These are different functions given by string, and it says there are almost 10 to 15 methods that they have given. Okay, these are all from JavaScript. These are all JavaScript methods. I will show you a blog, or maybe we will circulate a blog where you can just refer different concepts of JavaScript. In this session, we will not go through JavaScript, but you have to do your own analysis on that. Okay, so I'm saying that the employee ID should not be null. Null in the sense, I know the length of the field should not be empty. My logic, I think that maybe I can do any logic also. I mean, I don't have to check only length. I can use any method here, or maybe according to my logic, I can do anything. But for now, I think that I have to use length function and see if length is greater than 0. I identify that value is not empty. So what I will do is, I will go and click on this. See, it has added. But now if you can see, it is giving me the numbers. But before that, I am seeing the values. Right? These are the expression values that I am seeing earlier. But now, once I apply this, see, it is giving me the number. It is not in string because it is not in double quotes. Once I apply the length here, it is showing me the length of the record. It means how many characters are there in a string. So if you can see, there are 3 characters in each string. 1, 2, 3. 112 has 3 length. 113 has 3 length. Likewise, it has length of 3 in each and every record. That's where it is, this length function is giving me the number 3. So my logic here is employee.length greater than 0. Only send employee.length greater than 0. In the sense, only send employees having length greater than 0 or employee ID greater than 0. In the other way, only send employees which are eligible to process further or which have the values in the mandatory field. So if you can see, now it has turned to true. True and false are called Boolean values. Boolean values in the sense, true and false values are true and value is nothing but yes or no. If this expression says true, it means yes. If this expression says false, it says no. Okay. Now it is saying that I have written an expression here that employee ID that I am giving from the source is length of something is greater than 0 or not. I have asked a question logic and it is giving a response as true. It means that every record that is coming from the source has value or length greater than 0. So once I think that expression building is over, I will click on OK and then okay, I will save this. I will just apply this. Okay, I will validate this. If I see the result here. Okay, I see every result. But now what I will do is I will go and update my employees list. Where is that employees file? Okay, this is the file that I have, right? What I will do is I will just remove the values, random values. This is what I am talking about. So if the value or fields does not have the values, okay, or the values has been removed, how we can do it? So what I will do is I will go to Snaplogic. I will delete all these 3 files, or maybe I'll keep it. I'll just delete this 2. I will just go and upload my file. Where is this updated? Yeah, updated employees. Open. If I can go and view the values. Okay. So now what I will do is I will go and change the name. Updated employees to updated employees. I'm using a different file now. That's it. Okay. Now you will see the difference. Validate. Before the CSV parser, if you can see the input, can you see there are some missing fields here? Because I have removed those fields, right? I have removed those fields. So after the filter, can you see those fields? Before the filter, I see that 202 I have removed. I mean Pat Fay. Pat Fay is the name of this employee, right? After 201. Can you see that record 202 here? Pat Fay. I see 203 directly after 202. What I have done here using filter, I have removed those records from the input which has empty values in the employee ID, which means that, for example, for this use case, we have taken that employee ID should not be null. Correct? So for this use case, as we have taken that employee ID should not be null, what we have done is we have checked the length of the each field. We were able to check the length because the value is in string. But if it is in different number or something, we have to use a different function for the altogether. Or maybe using the same string functions itself, you could have used something different. But for now, as I know what I can use, I have used the length. You can do your analysis and let me know if you can use any other function in future sessions. But now just remember that we have used length function. Okay. And as you can see the difference, can you see those fields out here? They have just exhausted. I mean, they have just went into air. That's it. I mean, you don't see the values here. You have lost those values. See, you have lost those values. So this is the purpose, or this is the use of filter. You will be filtering the data based on the expression given in this field. Make sense? Any question on this filter?
Yeah, Manoj, if we want, if is the employee ID length is 0 or less than 0,
I
so
will
then
come to that. I will come to that. But
okay,
before that, do you have any questions to this?
no, yeah, not yet.
This is fine, right? I mean, till now we were able to see how, I mean, were you able to, does everyone able to catch it, how we are able to just eliminate or just remove the records which are not, which are empty here? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes,
Yes.
got it.
Yeah. Okay. So now I will show you a different, use case using different snap. Now we have used filter, and I told you that we can use router also, right? Router has two different views. It has only one view. If you can go to views, it has minimum one view and maximum of one view. These are output views. One view and maximum of one, even output all, even input also. But this router has different purpose altogether. Purpose in the sense the actual purpose is same, okay, but it has different intentions altogether. And this we can say is only if condition. Only if condition. If you go to the normal programming language, you will have if else, if like that, correct? So filter, if we compare it with the normal programming language, any programming language like JavaScript or maybe Python, anything, we can compare this pipeline, or I mean this filter snap with if condition. So if condition will execute based on some logic that we are going to provide within the brackets, if you remember or if you know any programming language. So same like that, if we provide any long logic within the filter expression, it will just validate based on that. Make sense? Now let me go and take the router. Okay, so what I will do, I will take the same expression in output 0, and in output 1, what I will do is I will keep it as double equal to 0. I will show you the difference now. Okay, don't worry about the other things. I will let you know. Views and info you already know. I will let you know what we are trying to do here. You can just see it in real directly. So I have applied the expressions in both output 0 and output 1. So this is output 0 and this is output 1. If I go and validate it, see, you can see values in two different output views. If I can open the above output, this result we have already seen using a filter, right? This result or the result that is missing or the records missing or the missing records result we have already seen using filter. But now if you see this, there is other output also to this. If I go and open, I will see few records here. What are these records? The records which I have removed the employee ID values have come here. How did this snap able to identify and send this to this output 01? It's based on the expression that I have given. What did I give here? I gave that length greater than 0, go to output 0. If length double equal to 0, in the sense the values are empty, right? If the values are empty, go to output 1. So based on the expression, the values that I have removed or the values I have removed, the employee IDs have come here. Were you able to identify the difference between this router and filter now? The router will give you multiple views to see the results, which is a positive case and the other case also. So using router, you will be able to see the actual logic that you want to write and also able to see the remote records or the failure records. We can say that these are successful records and these are failure records because according to your use case, these records has failed because employee ID is empty. Okay, we can also change the names of the output 0 and output 1 here. We can make it success, fail. Okay, if I can hover it, see, you can see success, fail here. So if I just validate those, you will see the successful records based on our use case and the failure records because the employee ID column is empty. So now what I will do is I will use okay, I will write these two records into two different files. Okay, I will just have them formatted in the same uh, within the same format, having delimiter as comma and everything. I am not changing anything. So if I run this, if I go to the manager, okay, can you see two files, employee success and employee fail? If I open the employee fail here, see, the starting values are empty. Empty in the sense, empty double quotes means the values are missing there. Employee ID is empty. I have removed 8 records. So those 8 records has been written to the different file. And if you can see the success records, you can see the employee IDs also. Okay. 43 records has come here and the other records has gone here. Other 7 records. Total 50 records. Okay. Any questions on this?
Yeah, Manoj. So how many number of output we can generate through router?
Any number. If you can go to views, see infinite.
There is no limit.
No limit, infinite. Any number of views I can generate. But every view should have an expression. We have to have this. Okay. If you have any number of the number of views we have, you have to open those number of expressions here, and you have to fill the logic accordingly.
Okay, Mas, thanks.
Okay. Any more questions we have? Are you able to identify the difference between filter and router?
The main difference is output, I think.
Yes.
It's not only that main difference is output, but in a case where you have to capture both error records and the successful records, you will use router. But in a case where you don't need to worry about the failure records, you will just use the filter if you don't require. Okay. If you think about in a business need, and if the business want to see, or someone from the business team also wants to see which records have failed, so that they can review this file, they can change the values or add the employee IDs in future for the next rush, for the next run, then we will be using the router. Otherwise, we just need to filter, then we will use filter, and it's based on the business logic again. And before going to this, someone has asked me, why can't we use the router? So did you get I'm not sure who is that. So did you get your question answered? So
Yes, Manoj.
based on the data and the logic of the expression, you have to either use router or filter. Okay. And the other thing also, additionally also, you have this copy, right? You have already used the copy here. Okay. You can make the router just work like a copy. I will show you what I'm trying to tell you. I will just make a copy of this. Okay. I will go and disable. I can make the router work as copy. How I can do it? I just need to put true and true. So can you see there are two files here? If I go to files, can you see the sizes of the file? 4777, 4777. Employees 1 and employees 2 files. So both files has, this file has 51 records here. Okay. And if I go to employees 2, it also have 51. So I just made router to work as copy. How am I able to do it? I have to provide some expression to the router every time. Every time, most of the times, we can use removing the expression also, it will work. But that is altogether a different use case. If I give some expression, it will just apply that validation according to the column name. Earlier, we have seen that employee ID expression we have applied and it has validated accordingly. Now, what I have done, I have toggled the expression here. Okay. I have directly used true. True in the sense, every record will be true. directly I am overwriting the condition statement saying that every record coming from these two views are true, which is that that's the way I am making this router to work as a copy. What will copy do? It will just copy the input, the number of records it is getting from input to the different outputs. So 50 here, 50 here, correct? As per the input, there are 50 records. If you can see, output documents are 50. So it will take the 50, it will give you 50 here and 50 here. So likewise, I'm doing the same thing. See, this way has 50 records. Input views is 50. This way also having 50 records. So I just made having the expressions as true. I just made copy or router to work as copy. Now the router functionality has named it or changed to act like a copy. Okay, this way you can do instead of copy. But if you keep just simple like this, okay, so lot of many people has used router without the expression. I will show you what will happen in that case. Okay,
So Manoj,
yeah, who is this?
Ravi here.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So Manoj, can we have the more than two output of router?
Yeah, we can. Here maximum is infinite.
Okay. So in that scenario, like then the true we will require the
We
expression
have
to be modified accordingly, right?
Yeah, we have to add those views also here and
Mhm.
have true everywhere.
No, this is for the copy, right? Suppose put the expression only.
Oh, you're talking about the expression. Yes, we
Yeah.
have to have the different output name, unique name,
Mhm.
and that unique name has to be have it here and apply the condition to every expression.
Okay. And what if some record is matching with all, so then it will go to the every output, right?
Every output, yeah, that we need to handle it according to the expression. I mean, within the expression itself, we have to take care, or our logic should be in that in a case where it has to satisfy all the conditions. So
Yeah.
that comes to our logical building actually. So how we build our logic or how we write the expression.
Okay, fine. Got it.
So, so the Manoj is
Yeah.
the default value of the expression is true, right?
No, it's not a default value. I just have made this to true because then any number of documents comes to input. I just want every record, all the records to flow through this output.
Yeah, I know that.
The intention
So
is.
no, if we doesn't provide as an expression as a yeah, true or false.
That's where I'm going. Actually, I have not covered that still.
Okay.
Just give me a moment. So in the yesterday's task I have asked you to do, many people has come up with this router as a solution and they have kept it as empty. The other values, what they have done is they have kept it to empty. Right? So let me show you what will happen in this case. I just made it as empty. Okay. I'm just running it through. So just focus. I am hovering on the CSV parser. If you can see, what is the number of output documents that is going to router? 50. Right? See output of 0, 1. What is the number of records that has come here?
Yeah, 25 only.
And here?
Yes, 25.
So if we don't give any expression, router by default, it will split randomly the input into multiple views. If we have another view here, okay, let's say it will do 50 divided by 3 and it will just segregate or divide those records equally. Can you get it? What is the difference? We are not getting all the records here. We are only getting 25 records. But what is the expectation here? we should have 50 records because input has 50. That's what copy does. Copy will give you or take you the input as is, and it will just provide those 50 records as is. It will not change anything. But if we kept the expressions as empty, router by default, what it will do is it will just split the records into equal halves. Now what it has done is it is sending 25 documents to this route and the other 25 records. But what is the expectation? This view should have 50, this should have 50. So were you able to find the difference? What is the difference?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people who has the router and having the expressions as empty, who has come up with this solution, this is the problem you have. The problem here is this might be a suitable solution for other cases, but our case is we have to copy the exact number of records coming from the source as an input to the output. We don't require to change anything. Any questions on this? Are we able to identify the difference between filter and router? How do we do it? Okay. And one thing we need to remember is any expression, if we want to do any expression or apply any expression on the input field, we have to keep it toggle. Toggle in the sense, this is untoggled mode. You have to go to the equals and click on this. It will turn into this dark blue color, which means that value is toggled. Then only you will apply the conditions or the functions that I have showed you in this tab. These functions will only be applied, or you will be able to apply when this is toggled. And you can see the difference directly here.
Hello,
Yeah, please.
Manoj, can you repeat it toggled?
Yeah, I'm going to. So the way that you can do directly, just a second. Yeah, please. So the way that you can do is, you can see this equal to sign here, right? So
Yes.
if it is in dark blue color or in this expression, okay, it will be like, we will call it as toggled. If we say it is untoggled, we have to go and click on this. This equal to will become untoggled. And if we want to apply any functions that I showed you earlier I have showed you that dot length function that I have applied on the employee ID, right? If I want to see that or apply that condition, this field should be toggled. Toggled in the sense it should be in this dark blue color. You can see the difference directly here. If I have the toggle, there is this drop down, right? If it is not toggled, can you see the drop down? If it is not toggled, can you see the drop down? Which means you cannot apply the functions that is given by the Snaplogic, or you cannot capture the input fields also. If you want to apply any expression or any logic from the input field, you have to keep these expression or fields toggled. Then only you will have this drop down. Then only you can go to this. Then only you can see the input schema and you can apply any one of these method or function. I will speak about this first match in future session because this is a bit advanced to you right now. Just try and remember that expressions or any expression, if we want to apply in the input field, from the input field, we have to keep it toggle. Even if we want to apply true, we have to keep it toggle.
Okay, yes, I got it.
Make sense?
Yes.
Any questions we have?
No.
Okay, so I will the second task for you from this session is, so we have, or we were able to see the records, or how we can error out or remove the records which are empty, the mandatory fields from the source into two different, or make it into two different formats, right? So my my use case now is you can see the employee ID, right? Can you see the employee ID here? Where is my file here? Yeah, this is the file. So you can see the employee ID column here, right? Take this file, we will, the file you have, okay? And my use case is divide the records, these record sets into multiple outputs based on the employee ID, if it is even or odd. Again, I am repeating my use case for the task, for today's task. Divide this file into multiple files, okay? That could be any number, you can decide it. Maybe multiple only, maybe 2 files, based on the employee ID field, whether this employee ID field is even or not. Okay, this is a general thing that we are learning from our childhood. How do we define that, whether that number is an even number or an odd number? Just apply that logic using in okay, I'm giving you the hint also. We have to use the router for this. Use router and apply that even or odd condition in this, and give me the solution of the use case or the task. Okay, I am expecting more number of people doing the tasks for tomorrow. I see only 5 or 6 people has done it. Almost we have 35 to 40 people nearly every day, but I see only 5 to 6 people has done that. So I will recheck again both these tasks. People who has not done the first task, please do that. I will take a look at that as well. Along with that, do this as well. I am just reiterating on the use case for the task. The task is read the file based on the employee ID, segregate the file into 2 different files. Okay, whether the employee ID is even or odd, decide, and then write it into a file. So output of the files will have that all the even numbered employees will go to one file, all the odd number employees will go to the other file. Make sense? Okay.
And the extraction of the file, yeah, to be same or different?
No, don't worry about the extraction. Keep it same. CSVs, and don't say the formatters, formattings and everything. Just keep it the same. Just work on the logic. Only logic.
Okay.
Okay. Make sense? Any questions? By that, I'll take a halt and let me know if you have any questions on this. Then, do you have any questions? You were asking something earlier.
Not on today task. I have a like question on yesterday task.
Yesterday's task. Okay. Do one thing. You can connect with Prashant.
Okay.
We'll just clear your doubts on that. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Team, any questions we have on the today's sessions? Were you able to identify the difference between filter and router? Those two, one of the major blocks in Snaplogic, because in every pipeline here and there, you will see those filter using a filter or router, because we have to segregate the data based on some conditions. We have to use any one of those. That is, those two are one of the most used snaps in Snaplogic. Okay. Any more questions we have? If not, we can wind it up.
Yeah, Manoj.
Please.
Yeah. Yesterday you just convert the delimiter into the comma to another symbol. It's not work. So
let me show you. It is
have you
up.
tried?
Yeah. Just a second.
Okay.
This is the one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. These are the settings that we were doing earlier.
Yes.
I will do something just for our use case. This is the file. Can you see?
Yes.
Yesterday, due to some problem with the Snaplogic, it was not showing us clearly. But can you see that the delimiter has changed from comma to pipe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. If there is no questions, we can wind it up, Prashant.
Okay, Manoj. Thank you, Manoj. Thank you, team.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Prashant, you stay back. Huh?
Okay.